Well, it certainly feels like Christmas right now. Heading towards the meadow. I said no videos, turn them off. Heading towards the meadows in pretty heavy traffic for this time of day. I was going to say this time of year, but not really. This time of day, there is cops everywhere here today. And a lot of, I tell you guys all the time, we have these pockets, especially this time of year, where just everything's different, right? I was bidding on breedings today on gate. Didn't get any of them, but I was bidding on a couple of them, trying to figure out where to send the mares next year, when they have to come back, when they can come back from Kentucky. It's just different, right? It's a different mindset. It's like, here's trainer and driver, here's, managing the stable, here's the brood mares. Here's being a dad, totally different. And today I've just kind of been in between a number of years. I got Addie Bear with me. They're off school now. You guys, as I said the other day, take your Thanksgiving serious here, as you should. I'm not trying to downplay it, but you take your Thanksgiving very serious in Ontario. You might get a day off or so. You might have Thanksgiving on a Sunday and have a Monday off or a Friday off, but you guys do it up. You've got like 4 days off. So Ava and Ollie wanted to stay home, do nothing. Kids. But Addie Bear, she wanted to come to the Meadows with me, so we're going to the Meadows today to race Yo Mister and Pickpocket, and then I got a couple in later on tonight at Northfield Park, eager to race International Man. This will be my first time sitting behind him also. We had a number of horses trained this morning. My Wicked Heart's ready to go. I was going to train her much slower. She felt good. I let her rattle along today, and she actually trained really good. So, probably going to put her into qualify. Whatever. Put her into qualify next Wednesday. I say it like that because she's ahead of schedule of where she should be and might be, but she is in that sale on December the 17th. So having her qualified with even potentially a race under her belt is a feather in her cap. Feather in our cap, too. So she will qualify next Wednesday. I'm ready to. Did not qualify this Wednesday, obviously, today. We'll give him a week and qualify him next week. We had his knees done. That right knee bothers him. I think it's going to be something that we have to manage moving forward. Lots of horses do, especially 3-year-olds. He's not even 3 yet. Especially 2-year-olds turning 3. And we will. So he'll be ready to go next Wednesday also. I was happy with a number of trainers say. I just got done watching Amy train Century Legion. I was really happy with what I saw from him. I trained Denali Dio with Purple People Eater. They both trained all right. Denali Dio made a break, but just shoeing. I'm going to switch him around. We haven't switched him since we got him. We had him trained up tight. They said, we can race him like that. I'm glad we didn't, actually, because I trained him today, and the track was a little looser today at Northfield. He wasn't as good. He wears flip-flops. Excuse me. He wears flip-flops up front, and they're not going to be conducive to that style track moving forward. So we're just going to put just a generic aluminum shoe on him all around, and I think that'll serve him much better. Watching a lot of the 2-year-olds go out today that we went with yesterday. Yearlings, they're not even 2-year-olds yet. Yearlings go out today. Wanted to make some shoeing adjustments, some equipment adjustments, and I saw the horses go out, the ones that we were talking about, and they looked much better today. Tyler had gone with Captain Doolittle. He looked much better. A little bit of weight on up front in shin boots. He was much better looking. Hanger 1 saw him go too. He looked really good. So I was happy with what I saw all morning long at the barn. Jason trained I'm Fancy Light. She's in the sale on Monday. A lot of people taking advantage of that deal. That's a pretty good deal, really. If you wanted to buy the babies, now would be the time to do it, because, quite frankly, I'm Fancy Light is worth a lot more than what she's being offered for to you for that sale. $220 Canadian is, what, 17,000 American? She's probably worth 7,000 or 8,000 more than that. And she is in the sale on Monday, so it's not going to be long for a quick turnaround, a quick rebate for you guys. I saw some people jump on that yesterday. I see some people buying shares of Simply Chaotic. I saw somebody buy 10 shares of Pretty Eyes and Lies. I'm telling you, Pretty Eyes and Lies That filly, her mother was meant to be a nice horse, just interfered, hit her knees, was really hot, out of gear, and just wasn't ready to be the racehorse we wanted her to be. Mentally, she was there. She wanted to be. She was just frustrated with interfering and couldn't do it right, and I don't see that with this filly. Now, this filly she is toed out, but so was Lawmaker, and he never wore a knee boot. Her mother found her knees quite easily, right? This filly doesn't, and I looked at her. She was right behind me when we were training yesterday, and I turned around and I watched her. She trotted up over her knees, but she was still that far away from them. There was another, maybe she won't touch. I looked at Amy pulling up. I said, that filly's not even going to touch a knee. She goes, I know. She goes, oh, so happy. So happy for her, and I was happy too. Now we got 9 months, 10 months to go, and a lot of speed to put into them. But when you see them come off the ground straighter or consistently, the ones you have trouble with are the ones that come off and they flip that foot in and head towards that other knee. As you start to get some speed into them, a lot of them will find their knees. The ones that come off the ground and drop them over, but the mechanics of that gait are straight. So the horse lands, even on an angle, even at 1 o'clock, but comes off the ground, but doesn't flip that foot in, you're less likely to see a lot of interference. Now, there's nothing, I can't predict what's going to happen in 2 minutes, or hopefully 56, 57 as a 2-year-old, if she can go there. I can't predict that. But from what I saw yesterday, certainly on the right track with this filly, and I mean, you can't fault her breeding. That entire family, and Lawmaker himself, was just such a good horse. And Joey Pro, his brother, was not a well-bred horse. He was by Glide Master, had a bow tendon at 2 when they took him to Florida, and still ended up winning.
We went to Florida.
We did go to Florida, which you're right. And still trotted, I think, 54, 55, 56, racked up a pile of wins and money. Was a nice horse, a good horse, an honest to goodness good horse. So I love the family. I love everything about it. I was a little concerned when I saw the filly at 11-1. What I mean by 11-1 is you got your clock. Horses are supposed to stand straight. She's at 11-1, and it is concerning when you see that. But man, after what I saw yesterday, she looks. You can tell her mother was always hot. One, she was a what the hell, which helped her be hot. But when she would interfere, then she got really hard to control. Yes, honey. When was George born?
Yes.
3 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
When the baby was born?
I don't know when Baby Princess was born. She's coming back in Wednesday. Gorgeous package. Aunt Lily, all those horses come in on Wednesday. So Addie's excited. So it is concerning when you see that, but I was so happy when I saw her gait on the track yesterday, and so quiet, because she isn't interfering. She isn't hitting. No head check. Nice low head. Just a set of polos on behind. Now, that isn't to say that that's what she's going to wear forever, but she's wearing it right now and looks really, really good doing it. I'm really happy with what I see from where are these guys going? Really happy with what I see from Pretty Eyes and Lies.
I want it too, everybody.
Actually, it's bugging me. I can't think. Oh, Izzy 10 is the name of the mother, obviously. Izzy 10. So, that's what's going on right now. Happy with the babies today. Happy with the trainers today. Really, really happy with them. The 2-year-olds that we wanted to start working on. I saw Tyler going out with 2 of them today. He was paying attention. The equipment was on them that we wanted on them. So again, a great start to well, I guess the Christmas season, but a great start to the 2-year-old to the 2-year-olds that are getting ready to train down. I'm a little. There's 2 cops, one on either side of me right now, so I am a little cautious, let's say. They're going somewhere else. A quick little rundown. I'm just looking through. I'm thinking about the list right now of 2-year-olds. Blue Rare, I apologize. I did mention it in the video. Just a little sick. She jogged yesterday. She jogged today. She's fine. Just, here's the rule. If you don't have a temperature and you eat your breakfast and you're not coughing your head off, you're probably going out the door. She coughed a little bit. She didn't eat all her breakfast, and she did have a mild temperature yesterday, so we weren't about to train her.
I didn't eat all my breakfast.
I'm not talking about you Toki. Capistrano Nights, I was happy with her. I see some people buying shares of her also. Fast filly, just like her mom. Super durable, little stubborn, that lather up, because it was so funny. Amy goes, oh, she's a little Spitfire. And I said, well, I remember last year you guys weren't too high. A little lather up filly that was a little crazy, a little cranky in the barn, weren't you? Gorgeous Package was like that too. So I don't mind that at all. She's feisty. We had lighter hobbles on her yesterday for the first time too. They need to come in 2 more holes, and we'll put a heavier round set on her, and she'll start to come forward. I like what I see from her. Diosa della Danza, that filly needs a tighter hobble also. She's at 57. She could probably do with a 56 and a half. What are you doing there? What's that guy doing? Sarah, I'm not worried about her. Cheers to Beers look better on the track today also. Don't ask again. I'll tell you what, she has come a long way in a short period of time. She still has a ton of work to do this year, but this is a filly that was acting up in the barn, squealing in the barn, kicking at people and horses. She's much better, and I saw her again on the track today. Just like what I see from her. Go Strong Hanover was amongst some of the most impressive horses yesterday, because I didn't know a whole lot about him. I hadn't seen him a lot other than the first day we went with him, so I didn't really know what he'd be like. He looked rather impressive on the track yesterday. Had to know looked good, hanger 1. He's a fearless beater. As I said, the only thing about the Peters is they're both going to be castrated before Christmas time. Of that, I can guarantee you. Highest honors. You know, Jason said he was a little rude, a little ornery on the track. I'll give him until that castration day closer to Christmas for him to smarten up too. I don't know much about the summa cum laudes, but I would suggest to highest honors that he pays a little more attention on the track. That comes with work sometimes, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt right now. In New York, Jailbird Jog looked good. Joe J. Fotag looked good. Leland, we're going to start them on Monday. Leland Hanover and Sterling Hanover. A lot of people asking where they're at, what they're doing. Millie Girl. She looks as fast as her mom and exactly like a Sweet Lou, like tough like iron. You know, you're just going to have to work with her. You saw her bouncing around, and then I backed my mount up. I backed up Capistrano Nights and said, hey, hit her a swat in the arse and get her working. And when he did, she almost come right out of her harness, and then she settled in and did her work after that. Perfection Hanover, I can't say enough about this horse. He was really impressive. Rose Run Bobby, super impressive also. We're going to put the weight on Royal Duchess. I watched her going on the track day. They did not put the weight on her. I'd said to Amy after, my fault. I said, I'll put the toe weights on her. I did not. We got to get those toe weights on her. Nothing going on tomorrow, though. It's Thanksgiving. The burn is shuttered tomorrow in Ohio. Amy and I and the kids get up tomorrow morning, check in at the barn, make sure everything's okay with the horses. There's no bandages ripped off. Stalls look okay. And then we're going to get underway and go back to Ontario. Friday and Saturday, I told Harry I want to go with Leggy on Friday. I'm going to train some horses at Dominic's on Saturday also. But happy with what I'm hearing out of Ontario. Simply Chaotic. I see some shares moving to him. I'm a little surprised there's 21 left. This is a good-looking colt. Trot's really nice. Now, I'll have more to say about him. This is James telling me the horse Trot's nice, and he never has anything good to say about anybody. So, he must really like him. We'll see how he behaves when I go with him. I guess Saturday I'll go with him, jog him along. But James said the horse looks really, really good. Solidarity. I'll tell you what, Steady Volo, Jason, another guy that doesn't get super high on them very often, and he made a point to bring up Steady Volo a number of times about how good he looked. Steph's Hope, Super Mind looked good. Tavion Hanover, so happy to see this guy. You have no idea. When you see a horse go out with just normal shoes on and they look terrible, and then you make these shoeing adjustments to them and they immediately look better, feel better, you can see, you can almost see like a gauge on them, their confidence coming up. It's a great feeling, and that's what I certainly saw with Tavion Hanover this week. Tomboy Strong is almost sold out. not shocking. I mean, you saw what I saw yesterday. You don't have to be a horse enthusiast even to see what you saw. So here's a horse that has all the experience the other ones do, shoots through at the end, jumps on them at the end, and gets up and wins. But I mean, nevertheless, it was just a jogging mile. But for her to do what she did and how she did it was impressive. It really was. And another horse that really caught my eye yesterday was Zena Kemp. I liked what I saw from her. Now, if you didn't hear your horse's name, either I didn't go with the horse looked just fine. I was just looking as I saw names. I'm trying to give you guys just a very rough update as we head down the road. Allie's Got Grit is in the sale on Monday. We have 9 horses, 9 in the sale on Monday. I've gone over that list with you guys. Allie's Got Grit, What a Lady, What a Night are in that sale. Arrowhead Hanover, Aunt Lily, all come back in on next Wednesday, so 1 week from today. I want to see how Captain Incredible, or how Bluebird Tuxedo Hill and Blue Ventura look when I go over to Ontario on the weekend. Cadeau, I trained him today. He trained great. Probably a month away. This guy here was a little smaller. He still touches up on that right jack. He trained great today. I was really happy with what I saw. But as I let him out down the lane, you could feel him kind of sink into that bit a little bit more. Did he want more, or was that enough for him? I went 1.5 miles, last half in 18, and it felt like he didn't want much more today than that. So I'm more apt to go another 1.5 miles with him. Tell Jason, just go again with him. Stay around that 20-25 mile marker. So usually go 20, 10, 5, 20, 15, 10, something like that. Stay around that 20, 15, 10, maybe 20, 13, 8, in that range for the next couple of weeks till we really get his feet settled under him. But I was happy with what I saw today. Captain Incredible Yoke for another 4 weeks or 5 weeks. And Jacobson will bring him in. So 5 weeks from now is the new year. Let's call it January 1st or thereabouts. We'll bring Captain Incredible back in. Chicago Hall will come over. We're going to move some more horses around. We're almost full. We're almost at capacity. After the sale, if I'm fancy like leaves, and who's the other horse I told Jason? One of the other horses in Ohio leaves. We will be at capacity after Wednesday when Jacob brings those horses in. Problem is, I just told you that we still have Chicago Hall to bring over, which I will. We still have the other filly. She starts with R. Resolve Indeed to bring in also. So there's going to be some more moving and shaking as we go on throughout the winter. Country Dancing's going good. I want to get an update from Dominic on her. Fire and Shine, I've had 1 million people ask about the Friday sale. Sale's going to start, let's call it 8 a.m. I'll instruct Wendy not to change the share prices until 8 a.m. Hers at $250. She's going to sell out in 5 seconds. You guys know that. 8 a.m. is 8 a.m. Fair is fair. Never Lose Felix. All these horses will be priced very, very aggressively for Friday. I just want to clean up the board a little bit so we can get back to focusing on the yearlings as we move into 2025. Foxy, I want to get an update from Dom, how she's doing also. Freedom Hill will be coming back in. Gaslight Hall, I'm going to give him that 8 weeks. So whenever that 8-week mark is from his last start is when he'll come back in. Gorgeous Package comes back on Wednesday. Grand Old Chap, I was leaving. They said, you want to train him up a little bit today? I said, you know what? I don't want to torture Chap today. Just put a set of bell boots on him up front and gallop him. Just give him a little workout, keep him happy. And that's what we did with Chap today. Beautiful. Speaking of this, a little side note, I was looking at getting like an espresso machine, and I don't want to be a barista. I don't want to tamp the thing down and put it in the machine. What's the best way to do that? Is there a lazy man's, I don't want to have like a coffee room push-button espresso machine that you'd see in a hospital. What do you want, Turkey? No, we're not almost there. Why don't you turn that off and have a nap, you dodo?
No.
Oh, yeah. But I would like just you know, you guys know I go to Starbucks in the morning. It would be nice to wake up and have one there if possible. And I've heard people say, oh, Starbucks doesn't compare to my machine or this machine or that machine. But there's so many. I spent a week before I went to bed every night just looking at, you know, Consumer Reports. You got to remember, too, it took me a couple of days to figure this out. when you Google something, the first 3 or 4 threads, and I'm glad that they have to post that. It'll say sponsored, so somebody's paying for that. I don't want to hear that. I want to get the raw consumer reports. If you're out there and you're like me, which a lot of people are, you have a latte or something in the morning. If you have your own machine, I'm curious what people think of the machines. The one that I kind of landed on was, I think it was called the Bosch 800 or 880 or something. I wasn't going to say that's not the price, but it very well maybe. I have no idea. But it's it looked like it had the most acceptable consumer reports from a non-sponsored thing. So if you're out there and you drink coffee, you drink espressos or lattes, and you have a machine at your house, you don't have to, but if you think of it, maybe drop me a line, because I am interested. There's just so many out there, and I don't want one that's gonna be a chore, right? I'm not quite there yet where I'm a coffee snob and I want to pant it down and brush the thing off and put it in. No, just want to get up and have a coffee. Let's have a latte. Anyway, if you have one, drop me a line. Let me know what you think, or if your friend does, or if you know of someone, what's the best one out there? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, continuing on, Gymboree, she'll be coming back very, very soon. I plan on racing her throughout the winter, into the spring, and I can get into a number of reasons why. But I think of all the horses we are about to start down this path with, this one will benefit the most. Remember, I said that. So Gymboree, I noticed somebody scooped up a pile of shares the other day. I know who you are. You did a very good job, because I think that filly's worth a lot more than what you bought them for. High hopes. I want to get an update from Dominic also. I don't play nice. Harry said started training this week. We'll see how he does. I'm a trucker. I've had a couple of people message me saying, why don't we just get rid of this horse? Well, we could, but he's literally worth nothing today. Right now, as is, he's worth nothing. And I told everybody, you put your shares on the sale board. They said, well, nobody's buying them. Yes, they are. I watched 2 shares of I'm a Trucker the other day sell for $28, which is a price tag of $2,800. Aside from the Amish that aren't out there buying 2-year-olds right now, I think that's probably what you'd get on Ungate. So you can say that's undervalued, but it isn't. I think that's pretty much fair market value right now. And I have shares in I'm a Trucker. I'm not that worried about it. I like his gait. I like his attitude. And as I said to Jason, if he's not having a good week, don't train him. Back off. Get him reshod. Blister him up. Blister his knees and hocks and stifles. Put him in the tub for a couple of days. Treat him like a good horse. Because he could be. I'm ready too. We'll qualify next week. Leggy, I want to make a point to train Leggy in Ontario when I'm there on Friday. Manhattan Money is training now in Ontario with Harry. I think he just said he trained good. I don't think he raved about him or anything. I think he's only gone once. Mountaineer Prince will bring him back in soon also. I just asked Jacob, if you give him a couple extra weeks and see if he can get some weight on his skinny little butt, that would help. Never Lose Felix has been in 18, I believe. Oh, he'll know, same type of thing. I think, oh, he'll know for sure, I think could be a Mohawk trotting filly maiden, now we're 2 in the wintertime. As far as Never Lose Felix, I don't know. He might be a 59 trotter and we just send him back over here and race him at the Meadows. I have no problem doing that, but I think he'll make it. I always like this horse. Pelican Owl has to come back in on Wednesday also. Resolve Indeed will come over here when she does come back in. A horse you may see go to Ontario will be Rose Run AJ. Stretched out a little bit. He's got high speed, a half-mile track, maybe not suit him as well. He can get over it, obviously. He went in 56 quite easily this year there. But maybe stretching him out with some faster miles in Ontario may benefit him also. So I can see him more than likely heading that way at some point. Rojan Alexander, same thing. I think she could head over there also. Rosetta, her attitude is going to be nipped in the bud before she goes anywhere. I put a dog chain on her. She doesn't like the snake cord. And I heard one of the riders come in and said, take that snake cord off. She doesn't like it. Hold on. Belay that order. That's an absolute no. She will wear, I said, you're right. She's not going to wear a snake cord. She's going to wear a chain. She's going to like it. And I don't care if she doesn't like it. Because I'm not ever having a repeat of the day she flipped out and ran away with me in Kentucky ever again. She's going to behave herself and get under control. And I guarantee you she will. And, You know, Rosetta, I think, has got a ton of speed and a ton to offer, but she has to conform. She has to understand her work and try to do it to the best of her abilities. It won't be done her way. That was last year's chore. We'll give you a wide berth as a 2-year-old to do things your way. At 3, you will be doing them our way, and that is exactly what Rosetta will be doing moving forward. She sits at the bar, is going to be bred. I didn't know who to breed her to. I have a million choices with her. She's a bar hopping, so not a million choices. You can't breed her to any Muscle Hill sires. And for those of you out there saying, geez, I would love to have her bred to Chapter 7. I already beat you to it. There's none out there. Unless you can buy one privately. I went right to the source. I asked Blue Chip Farms, who stands them. There are no breedings right now to Chapter 7. So unless we can find one, didn't matter. Globetrotting is who I asked for to begin with. There's not one for her. There's certainly not one for She Sits at the Bar. But there are lots of very, very interesting sires out there this year. We can breed Globetrotting to any horse on earth. She's a man of many missions. She can go anywhere. So that will be that's a Steve and an Alan job. There are my resident breeding experts. I'll have discussions with them throughout December into the holidays, trying to lock down and figure out where we're going with everybody. We have a number of Captain Corys about to hit the ground this spring, and we have a number of Captain Corys in the barn right now. I'm very happy with what I've seen from him so far, and wouldn't hesitate a little bit to go right back there. Southwind Ibex, I don't know, he's been in 15 or 16. I'm hoping his breeding will come out as he starts to see the starting gate and put enough muscle on his big body to support it. I'm hoping that'll happen. We'll see. Speed of sound obviously is getting better. Dominic likes her. I trained Trevino on green today. Big update. I like what I saw from him today. Now, I did put him in the bike because I wanted to set the hobbles. He's not really ready to go in the race bike. I wanted to set the hobbles. I wanted to get a feel for what he's doing, what he's not doing, and even more importantly, is he doing it better? I was happy with what I saw from him today. 2:15, last half in 5, which is obviously 17 seconds from being an effective trotter for us over the spring. But he looked good. There's never any doubt that power and attitude are going to be a problem. He's got a great work ethic, a great attitude, and he is a big, strong colt. Can he do the work? You ask me today, the answer is yes, he can. Westland Warrior will be coming in soon. What a Lady, What a Night's in the sale Monday. We'll see how that plays out. Woodmere Betcha. Smitty told me she's a week from qualifying in Prince Edward Island. So there you have it. Our girl Betcha is about to hit the track. Admiral Dio is racing Friday, Monday, something like that. I'm not sure. Irresistible Sun's back going now and training. He's going to be ready to go just as we move out Pickpocket and Brace for Landing. There's going to be room for Memory and Imagination and Irresistible Sun to start back up. La Dorienne is in sale on Monday. Lover's Play. Who are we breeding her to? I don't know. She's a Tactical Landing, so it can't be a Muscle Hill stud either. You can see her going to Captain Court. We're looking at Ohio, Ontario. There's so many talented sires out there right now. We have a ton of them. You know, we just have to stay away from the Muscle Hill line with Lover's Play. Other than that, but there's tons of horses that fit that. I think of one right now, TCI, right here in Ohio. Somebody said, TCI is $10,000 a lot for Ohio. If people forget, Ohio is one of the strongest jurisdictions on planet Earth. It has one of the most lucrative programs on planet Earth. So to say that it's expensive, it's just that Ohio, yes. Does it sound like I'm done? Would I get done quicker if you didn't ask me if I'm done yet, do you think? Yeah. Good girl. So we can go wherever we want, and as far as 10,000 being a lot, I want to have the best sire that I can for our mares, and they're ours. That's why I'm not just looking for a cool cross that's going to sell for a lot. I don't care about that. I care about our horses and them being our in-house horses. Now I guess that brings up the other question. I'm not going to continue every year to have a Black Friday sale on our babies. I may start videoing and selling the weanlings as they turn into yearlings, and then the prices will go up. I can tell you what the end game will be for those horses and what we're going to start them at, and it may make sense for people to potentially buy into them. The cost of handing them till they come to the barn is a lot less. We can pretty much nail it down now that they're a full year old almost, or turning a year old. So maybe that's what we'll do in the new year. I don't know. I'm open to a dialogue with you on that also. Okay, let's get this over with here. Free Mill, Melisandre trained today. She was okay. I guess this is important also. Melisandre's in the exact same position that Punch the Clock was in, right? Expensive filly. If she isn't going to train down like a stake filly, true stake filly, I have no interest in racing her in the third rung in Lexington. And if she's not going to be a stake competitive filly, then we are probably going to look at breeding her in the springtime commercially. Same thing we tried to do with Punch the Clock, maybe with better results. The end result wasn't bad. The middle kind of hurt a little bit when we bought that breeding to Walner and it fell through. That won't repeat itself. But if Melisandre is not going to be a top stake filly, and I probably won't know for 6 weeks, but don't have to know for 6 weeks, at that point, we're going to switch gears with her. I liked what I saw from her today. Mel Gibbswan, that leg just is not healing up as well as we wanted. We're going to cryo it tomorrow. He's going to need at least 8 to 10, maybe 12 weeks off. We've tried the conventional ways to patch him up and get him ready to go again. It's just not conforming the way we wanted. The injury itself is not horrible, but it is pesky. And there's no reason for me to believe if we patched them together right now that we just wouldn't have to still continue to patch as we go along. I think the smart play for him right now is do it right. Now, there's no cutting corners. Now we have to do it right. Cryo it. And it's not that we weren't doing it right before. The way that we went down, the way that we treated these horses were under doctors' recommendations. It's just no one knows how a horse is going to heal or not heal. And at both times we started him back up, we got close, he was doing work, and then it got re-aggravated. And there's nothing saying it won't happen again. But we have to do it right, both for Mel and for us. So now, stop. We're not looking for timelines. We're looking for this injury to be healed. What is the timeline? And that is what I posed to Dr. Latessa. I'm jumping all over the place here, just looking at updates. Mounts for All is getting close to being ready in Ontario. Purple People Eater is going to race a few more times and going to the sale in Mount Hope, as is Really Don't Care. Tenacious Hanover didn't get in this week. He got a week off. He'll race next week. Time is on my side. Tim has told me December 13th will be his next race date in Pennsylvania. Vehement, we didn't get him in this week. He trained today. Jason trained him, no hobbles on. I thought he looked really good. He came in from jogging, and I said, hey guys, this horse missed 2.5 weeks last time. He raced. Let's get him trained up a little bit today. So I just threw a set of trotting boots on him and trained him. You can see his confidence getting there too. Watch Your Mouth is going to race next week also. Brace for Landing is in the sale on Monday. International Man races tonight. Good luck to all my partners. Save America is racing this week. Spitfire Overseas is racing this week. All Gas No Brakes, a great winning victory the other night. I thought the horse raced really, really well. Greatest Ending, like to get him back on track. JK Victory will be ready soon. Rock Shining Stars dropping way down now. 3 Point Blue Chip will be in next week. I'm going to see Troisa and Neptune when I go back to Ontario. Yo Mr. races today. Good luck to all my partners there. Delicious Stone, DK, best case scenario, everything came out good. We're starting to jog and train him back down now. Patrick the Piranha A will race next week. Now, we did have George race last night. I'm sorry it took me 34 minutes to get to George. George of the Jungle raced last night, made a break. Just with the recall and getting him kind of bottled up in the first turn, I knew it was coming. I could feel him kind of shorten his stride up and run. I should have just let him trot forward in the first turn. I'm sure Ronnie would have dropped me in front of him. I just looked and I said, I'm just going to drop him in behind Ronnie and follow Ronnie. And when I boxed him up getting into the turn to get him in the hole, he just rolled off stride. Not opportune, considering he's in the sale Monday, but that's that. Early play last night, did what he could. We're going to try and slowly get him better. He paced, he did his work. That's the most important thing. So there you have it, 35 minutes of a lot of stuff. As Addie Bear and I head to the Meadows, I'm going to race Yo Mr. Pickpocket today. International Man, who's the other one? and love and affection tonight. Good luck to all my partners. They're all in good spots. I expect them all to race well. We'll see. Take care. We'll talk to you all very, very soon. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas season.